All right. Is that better?
Yes, sir, it is.
Okay.
Mr. Leopard, I apologize for keeping you waiting all morning.
I can't.
We had one that just went on and on and on and on and on.
Right, right.
But thank you for joining us this afternoon. All right. Ms. Trevino, are you available?
I'm at work. I'm doing some paint work, but I could. It's working. It'll work.
Okay. Now I was asking if the prosecutor is available.
She's here, sir. I'm just starting the recordings.
Okay.
Okay.
Good afternoon, Officer Caballero.
Hello. I'm trying to get cancel. See, you okay? Just cancel this. If it didn't have right,
Okay. Court will call the case State of Texas versus Lee Leppert, Leppert. We're doing this by Zoom, and it is now 12:52 on January 21st, 2021. This is Ed Phillips. I'm the judge here for the city of Live Oak. We have Cynthia Trevino here representing the city. We have Mr. Leppert, who is the individual accused of the offense. And then we have Officer Janie Caballero, who is the, I presume, the citing officer in the matter. And Mr. Leppert, let me tell you how this is going to work so that you're fully aware of what we're going to do. I guess you already had a chance to talk to Ms. Trevino regarding possible alternative methods of disposing of this.
We met one time and she wasn't not able to find the body cam, and she wanted to hold another pretrial hearing, and that never took place.
Okay. Do we have a body cam, Ms. Trevino?
Yes, sir. And the state's recall on that is that we made all information available to the defendant. I don't know that we got a discovery request other than the pretrial date.
Okay. Well, Mr. Leppert, have you seen the video?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Trevino, do you want to take a few minutes and display that to Mr. Leppert so y'all can at least talk about a possible resolution, short of trial, or Mr. Leppert,
Your Honor.
if you would prefer, Mr. Leppert, we can just go straight to trial. We just usually give you the opportunity to view the video, and I'm sorry that didn't happen beforehand, but should have. But if you want to take a few minutes, Officer Caballero and I can step aside and close out our screens. That is, Mr. Leppert, if you wish to do so, if you wish to see the video.
I mean, I don't know what it's going to matter. I'm got charged with public intox. I was in my apartment, walked down to get my mail.
Okay, well, don't tell me about.
Was eating a pizza.
Don't tell me about the fact. Don't tell me about the facts, okay? At this point in time. So, do you want to see the video, Mr. Leppert, or do you want to go ahead and proceed to trial?
Yes, I'd like to see the video.
Okay, Officer Caballero, you and I will black out our screens and mute our mics, and then when we're needed, we'll come back in if we are needed. Ms. Trevino, if you'll just let us just show up on the screen, and I'll
Yes, sir.
Know that you're ready. Okay, thank you, Mr. Leppert.
Thank
you. Mr. Leppert, I'm going to do a share screen, so you're not going to see me, but you'll see the screen.
Okay.
All right. Do you see the screen, Mr. Leopard?
I do.
All right. I'm going to hit play.
Ms. Trevino, hold on a minute. I'm able to see that, and I don't need to see that at this stage
Yes.
because I have blocked out my.
Judge, do you have the ability to switch off your monitor, just your monitor?
I can leave the meeting for a second.
Okay, and we will have the court clerks text you when it's safe for you to come back on.
Yeah, I just don't want to be prejudiced in any way by seeing the video ahead of time.
Yes, sir.
Otherwise, how would I get rid of the?
I think the only way is to actually turn off your monitor itself or leave the meeting, and we can bring you, we can have you rejoin once we give you the notice to rejoin.
Okay, that'll be fine.
All right.
Thank you.
Yes, sir. All right. I think the judge is gone now. All right, Mr. Leopard, do you see a screen that says watch guard?
Yes.
All right, I'm fixing to hit play.
Don't fight me, bro. Don't fight me, bro. You're gonna get tased. He's got something in his hand. He's trying to leave. My keys. You ain't got no driver's license, bro.
Is he intoxicated?
I can't. I can't. I'm gonna have to double.
I got you. Okay. Good.
You want to double him? All right, I got one.
He's trying to leave. Where you going with no license?
I'm not going anywhere.
So what are you doing out here? He's toasted.
Yeah. Well, we're going for PI and Leaderson.
Okay, we'll do that. What happened?
I pulled in, I parked in my parking spot. I was within the yellow lines. They had their car door open. They told me, stop, stop, stop. You're in me. You're in me. The car door was open. But I was within the yellow line.
No, you weren't. You hit their vehicle.
No, I didn't hit no vehicle. No, I did not. No, I did not. I did not hit no vehicle. You look at the front of my vehicle, you look at the back of their vehicle, I hit no vehicle.
Let's take him. We ain't gonna be,
I hit no vehicle.
I ain't gonna talk to no drunk.
I hit no vehicle.
Go.
I hit no vehicle.
Start walking.
I hit no vehicle.
Who we finding? Yeah, Lee, Prashad, whatever. The owner, 1207.
Their car is not there.
Yeah, they just left.
They just left, yeah. My car.
Yes, there is, bro.
There's no damage to the front of my vehicle.
We're not gonna argue with you, bro.
I'm not arguing.
Okay, just throw them in here.
I'm not arguing. You know what, Adam? There's no damage to the front of my vehicle. Why am I being interrupted?
Public intox.
No, no.
How this works, right? Just relax. Are you gonna get in by yourself?
Or do we have to assist you?
Come on, get up, get in the seat, man. Let's go. And I'm not intoxicated.
All right, get up and get in there.
Lift the legs up. I'm gonna throw you in there.
Let's go. I'm working on it. I'm working on it.
Grab the arm.
We'll process this guy, myself and Margaret, okay?
Can you do the PBT just to see what he blows?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go check, make sure his apartment is secured.
Okay.
Then we'll meet you at the PD and he'll process. We'll go make sure that,
Mr. Leopard?
Yes.
Okay, now that is the body cam image that we have available for this particular incident.
Okay.
All right, did you still want to proceed to trial?
Yes.
Okay. Give us just a moment and we'll get the Judge Phillips back on.
All right, what are we doing?
We are proceeding to trial, Your Honor.
Okay. Let me get my screen up here to where it looks like I'm actually there I am. Okay, Mr. Leopard, you're charged with the offense of public intoxication. Do you understand what you're charged with?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. You previously indicated that you were going to waive your right to a trial by jury. Is that still the case?
Yes.
Okay, Mr. You have the right to have the complaint, which is the document charging you with the offense, read in open court, or you can waive that if you understand what the charges are and they adequately are expressed in the complaint, which you would have received and we reviewed at your pretrial hearing. So I guess the question is, do you want to have the complaint read in open court, or can you waive the reading of the complaint?
I'll waive that.
Okay. Let me tell you how this is going to work, Mr. Leppert. Ms. Trevino is going to put on her utilizing whatever witness or witnesses she may have. I'm going to presume that Officer Caballero, since she is sitting there, is at least one witness. Ask her questions. You will have the right to cross-examine her and ask her questions regarding her testimony. After Ms. Trevino gets through asking questions, y'all will go back and forth until you've both exhausted all your questions. Try not to testify on your own behalf at that time, Mr. Leppert, because you do have the right to remain silent, and I don't want you to inadvertently give up your right to remain silent. So if you wish to testify later in the proceedings, you can do so, but it needs to be with a knowing and intentional waiver of your right to remain silent. You got all that?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Ms. Trevino, it looks like, or it appears Mr. Leppert does not need the complaint read. So unless somebody wants to offer an opening statement, we'll just go straight to evidence.
No, Your Honor, we can go straight to evidence.
Okay, and I'm going to presume that you're going to call Officer Caballero
Yes, sir.
as your witness.
Yes, sir.
That's why I get to wear the robe and everything. I've figured that out. Okay, Officer Caballero, raise your right hand, please. Although I don't have a robe today. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God. Okay, I need you to turn your mic up a little bit. I can't hear you. That should be better. Say something, please. No, still don't have any sound. Just need to adjust the volume somewhere. It was working fine this morning.
Can you hear me now?
Barely, but I can hear you, yes. Officers, Salazar, is there, adjust that up a little bit more?
Yeah, I'm trying, Judge. The mic's on. We didn't touch any of the settings.
I can hear you.
Oh, okay.
Must just be that.
The mic, it's just picking it up through the computer.
Oh, okay, so you don't have the.
No, I don't have, it just picks it up through here.
Okay,
Okay, yeah, if you get closer to the computer, I can hear you.
okay.
Okay. Officer Caballero, raise your right hand, please. Solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Trevino, go ahead.
If you will, please state your name and occupation for the record, please.
Janie Caballero, and I'm a police officer for the Live Oak Police Department
And how long have you been a peace officer?
for 22 years.
And during that time, how much training have you had judging intoxication?
Throughout my entire career, we've dealt with situations like that.
And as part of your training, are you trained to look for specific signs and symptoms and specific behaviors that leads you to make decisions regarding intoxication?
Yes, ma'am.
And because of your training, do you feel that you are qualified as part of the course of your duties to give testimony regarding your opinion on someone's level of intoxication?
Yes.
Were you on duty on the night of December 27th, 2019?
Yes.
And what were your duties on that night?
Just patrol and answering calls.
Okay. Did you encounter an individual by the name of Lee Leppert?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And we're doing video court here. Is Mr. Leppert, the defendant, visible to you on the screen?
Yes.
And where did you encounter the defendant at?
At the Navona Apartments off of the 1604 access in Live Oak.
And that is within the city limits of the city of Live Oak?
Yes.
And what brought you out to the Navona Apartments on that night?
The initial call was for some type of accident involving a pedestrian. That's the way the call came out. That's the way the dispatcher put it out. So when we arrived at the scene, there was two females frantic in the driveway, in the parking lot. They were standing by their vehicle. One female was sitting in the driver's seat. The other female was standing by the driver with the driver's door open, and she was crying and saying that someone tapped her legs with their vehicle. Well, she initially said that someone tried to run her over, but after our investigation, she said that the vehicle tapped her legs with, the gentleman tapped her legs with his vehicle.
Okay. And then at that point, what type of investigation did you conduct?
We did not get to make contact with Mr. Leppert right away. We did attempt, she identified the male subject that struck her as her neighbor. She said that he lived in apartment 1207. So myself and Sergeant Alonzo went up to the apartment, knocked on the door, and he did not answer the door. We came back downstairs and continued speaking with the two females. They said they wanted to, the female that got hit said she wanted to file criminal charges. So we gave her a witness statement to complete. She completed that at the scene. And I think we're wrapping up our investigation with her when she started yelling, there he is, pointed towards the pool area. And so we saw Mr. Leppert walking on the public sidewalk with his keys in his hand. And that's when we approached him, and I immediately put him in handcuffs for officer safety and for his safety.
Okay. And Officer Caballero, while you were doing that, what signs or symptoms led you to believe he was intoxicated?
You could smell the odor of alcohol coming from his breath. He had bloodshot red eyes, was unsteady on his feet. And in the past, those are the signs that we are trained to look for.
How strong, or can you give an indication of how strong the smell of alcohol was?
It was very strong. When he spoke, I could smell it.
And can you describe the defendant's speech while you are processing him or dealing with him?
Yeah, it was slightly slurred, slightly.
Was any sobriety test conducted?
Not at the location that we contacted him. I did feel that he may be intoxicated, so we went ahead and brought him back to the police department. We processed him, and when he was here in our booking area, we did the portable breath test, and he blew a .12.
Now, on these portable tests, are you able to produce any written documentation of the testing, or does it just show up on the screen?
Yeah, yes, it's not like the breathalyzer that'll print you a printout. This is just a digital number that shows up on the apparatus. And we document that right away when we're booking them, what they blew. And then we have to check them several hours later, have them blow again. And if the level has gone down below the 0.08, then we go ahead and release them.
All right. So at the scene, what led you to believe that he would be a danger either to himself or to others?
The immediate thing was that he was walking with keys in his hand. So I felt that he was trying to get back into his vehicle. And being that we hadn't talked to him about the incident that happened with the female, we didn't want him driving away and possibly getting into an accident or maybe striking a pedestrian.
And based on what you saw there, what official actions were taken?
And like I said, we processed him and I issued a citation for public intoxication. And then I think he was released a couple of hours later from our police department.
Now, Officer Caballero, based on what you saw that night and your training and education and the action that you took, was it your opinion that for the safety of the general public and certainly the defendant, he should be taken into custody?
Yes.
Officer Caballero, is there anything else at this point that you feel that the judge needs to be made aware of?
No, just that the criminal charge for the assault, I think we filed that at large on him for us, the assault with the vehicle.
Officer Caballero, was there any video made of this incident?
Just the body cam video that was from Sergeant Alonzo and Officer Gregory Maggard, which is no longer with our police department. My body camera was dead, and that's why we had Sergeant Alonzo go ahead and record the incident.
And the body camera that the Live Oak Police Department uses, is it the type of device capable of making an accurate recording?
Yes.
Have you had an opportunity to view the recording to prepare for today's testimony?
Yes.
Does it accurately reflect the incidents as you recall them
Yes,
of that night?
Yes, ma'am.
Judge, the state does request to enter video of the incident as states exhibit number 1.
Mr. Leopard, do you have any objection to my seeing the video?
No.
Okay, let's publish it and run it.
Yes, sir. Give me just one moment to do the screen share. Okay. Are you seeing an apartment building on the screen, folks?
Yes.
Yes.
He's got something in his hand. What kind of need? You ain't got no driver's license, bro.
Is he intoxicated? I got you. Okay. Yeah.
You want to double them? All right, I got them.
Yeah, he's trying to leave. Where you going with no license?
I'm not going anywhere.
So what are you doing out here?
Yeah. Well, not for PI and Lewiston.
Okay. So what happened?
I pulled in, I parked in my parking spot. I was in the yellow light. They had their car door open, and they told me, stop. Look at me. The car door was open, but I was within the yellow light. You didn't get there. No, I didn't get no vehicle. No, I did not. No, I did not. I did not get no vehicle. You look at the front of my vehicle, you look at the back of their vehicle, I had no vehicle.
Let's take them. We ain't gonna be,
I had no vehicle.
I ain't gonna talk to no drunk.
I had no vehicle. I had no vehicle.
Start walking.
I had no vehicle. Who was trying to-
Yeah, that Lee, Christian, whatever, the owner, 1207.
Yeah, they just left.
There's no damage to the front of my vehicle.
We're not gonna argue.
Arguing.
Okay, let's throw them in here.
Arguing. Why am I being interrupted?
Okay, in talk.
No. So,
Where do we have to attend to?
I'll get up there and see. So, and I'm not intoxicated.
All right, get up and get in there.
Let's link up. I'm gonna throw you in there.
So, I'm working on it.
We'll process this guy, myself and Magnet, okay?
Can you do the PPT just to see what?
Yeah. Yeah. We're gonna go check, to make sure his apartment is secured. Then we'll meet you at the PD and he'll process. We'll go make sure that the
Judge, at this particular time, no additional questions. The state does pass the witness.
Well, I'm not even sure what I saw. I mean, Mr. Leppert being apprehended, I couldn't understand the dialogue that took place. So I'm just,
You
I'm
need me to read-
looking, well, I'm looking for some evidence of loss of normal use of mental or physical faculties that would make him a danger to himself or others. So can somebody help there, Officer Caballero or the prosecutor?
Officer Caballero, can you, based on the video there, can you describe how strong the smell of alcohol was coming from the defendant?
It was strong enough for me to smell it when he spoke.
When y'all are escorting the officer, the defendant away, in the video, we see that Officer Maggart is supporting the defendant. Is he escorting him?
Yes. Yes, ma'am.
Was there any other physical symptoms that you noted at the scene that made you believe he would be a danger or led you to believe he was intoxicated?
Just the ones that I mentioned, the bloodshot red eyes, unsteady on his feet, and then the smell of alcohol on his breath, coming from his breath.
And based on his behavior, Officer Caballero, did you give any or receive any indication that he was not in possession of full mental faculties?
Yes.
Okay. And can you describe why you felt that he was not in possession of his full mental faculties?
Yeah, I mean, he couldn't even get in the patrol car. We had to assist him. That's why I said, do we have to assist you? You can hear me ask him that. I don't know. He mumbled something. I can't recall what that was, but we had to help him get into the patrol car, the back of the patrol car.
Okay. And
Was he in front locks or rear locks?
Everyone is handcuffed with their hands behind their back. And he wouldn't answer the door. I mean, it took at least 45 minutes from the initial call when we knocked on his door. He wouldn't answer, so we came down and did our investigation with the victim. And then about 45 minutes later, he came out of the apartment, and that's when she started yelling, "That's him, that's him." And so we went over there and contacted him.
And based on all the symptoms that you observed and described to the court, is it your opinion that the defendant was under the influence of alcohol to a degree that he would have been a danger to himself or others?
Yeah, absolutely. Yes.
No additional questions for the witness at this time, Your Honor.
Mr. Leopard, if you have any questions you'd like to ask Officer Caballero, this is time to do that. Try not to testify on your own behalf because you have an absolute right to remain silent.
I don't have any questions.
Okay. Do you wish to make a statement? Well, first of all, Ms. Trevino, do you have any other witnesses?
No, Your Honor, the state does not.
Okay, Mr. Leopard, at this time, do you wish to make a statement on your own behalf?
Yes, I would like to make a statement.
Okay, would you raise your right hand, please? Solemnly swear to tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth to help you God.
I do, Your Honor.
Okay, Mr. Leopard, fire away, so to speak.
When I got home from my apartment, I had a pizza in my hand. After the argument in the parking lot, I went upstairs, opened a beer, had a few pieces of pizza, then I took a shower. That's why it took me 45 minutes to come back downstairs. I came back downstairs not to leave because all I had on was shorts, t-shirt. I did not have any shoes on my feet. I went back downstairs to get the mail, which my mailboxes are right on the corner of that building. If you look in the video, if you review the video, there's some black boxes. That is my mailboxes. I went down to get my mail, and that's when the lady saw me, hollered out, "There he is." Then the officers came over. When I take a shower, my eyes get bloodshot red. But I was upstairs in my apartment eating some pizza, drinking a beer, and then I forgot to get my mail, so I went down to get my mail. And then when I had my hands cuffed behind my back, it was hard to get in the vehicle because it's pretty awkward to get in the back of a patrol car with your hands behind your back. And that's what happened, and that's all I really have to say. I mean, I was not publicly intoxicated. I I went down to get my mail. Like I said, I did not have any shoes on my feet.
Mr. Trevino, do you have any questions of Mr. Leopard?
Yes, sir. Mr. Leopard, do you recall where you were transported to?
Do I recall when I was transported to the police station?
Yes, sir. Do you recall where you were transported to?
Repeat that again.
Do you recall where you were transported to on that night?
Yes.
Do you
Remember-
recall taking the portable breath test?
I do.
Okay. Do you recall the number that was announced at the time of the breath test?
That part I did not. I don't recall. No.
Do you recall how long you were held?
I believe it was approximately 2 hours or so. I think 10:20, 10:30 in the evening, and I got released before midnight.
Would you be surprised to know that you were held more than 4 hours?
Yes, very surprised.
No additional questions at this time, Your Honor.
Leopard, do you have anything further you want to say?
No, Your Honor.
I'm not sure I saw anything on the video that would give me concern that he was a danger to himself or others. Now, if he had several beers, which ran through his system and caused him to later have a PBGT reading above 0.08, that's really a separate set of facts or set of not facts, separate time segment that we're dealing with. He appeared to go voluntarily. I did not see he was pulled up by the officer. He was just being escorted, and he did not have any shoes on. Based on what I see, Mr. Leopard, I'm going to hold your case for a period of 180 days with no fine, so long as you do not have any drug or alcohol cases in the next 180 days. I'll dismiss this case.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Anybody have any questions?
No, Your Honor.
Officer Caballero,
Yes, sir.
y'all doing your job, but just, I gotta do mine too, so. We'll leave this meeting. Vicki, if you'll make a note in the file, that we'll check with PD at the end of 6 months. If Mr. Leopard has not had any other drug or alcohol cases in the next 6 months, then give me an order to dismiss and I'll dismiss it. Now, Mr. If you do have another incident of any sort, or you have a run-in with these young ladies who allege that you bumped them with their, all that's going to come into play again, as far as I'm concerned. So you just need to know that, and I'm going to presume they live in the same complex as you. Is that correct?
Your Honor, she has moved out of the apartment complex because she did not technically live there. She was living there and somebody else had rented the apartment. So she was living there against the rules of the apartment complex. So they made her move out.
Okay, so she is not, so far as you know, she is not around. Do we know, Ms. Trevino, what happened to the, I know you said the assault case may have been filed at large. Do you have any idea what the status of that is?
No, sir, I do not have that in the file, if, whether that's still pending.
I mean, it really doesn't matter, but I just don't want Mr. Leopard to have any more run-ins with these young ladies that would cause him additional problems. So, Mr. Leopard, if you should come in contact with these two ladies, from them, if they start you, then you need to contact PD. I'm sure Officer Caddo would, or one of the other officers would be glad to help you any sort of confrontation with them. So that's what we're going to do. Beato, thank you for your time. Glad you got your mic set up. You've been with PD for 22 years.
With Live Oak, I've been here 12. I came from another department.
Wow.
Yeah,
Still have your sanity?
I do. I'm gonna do 3 more years and then I'm done. I'm in
And you're
vet tech
done.
class. Yeah, I'm in vet tech class right now. So that's what I'm gonna transition to.
In what tech?
Vet tech,
Like take care of animals?
yes.
You know, animals are a lot easier to deal with than people.
Oh, yeah, yes.
All right. Well, thank all of you for your time. And again, Mr. Leopard, I apologize for leaving you hanging for so long. It was unavoidable.
I understand with the COVID situation.
All right. Well, good luck to you. Vicki, if you'll make those appropriate notes in the file, I'd appreciate it.
She's indicating yes, sir.
Well, she doesn't talk to me anymore, so. Okay. Well, we're going to leave the meeting right now, I guess, unless Mr. Randall is on the line. Mr. Leopard, you can leave the meeting.
Oh, yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Judge, Mr. Randall did log in and then he disappeared. He's coming in now.
Okay. Hello, Mr. Randall.
Yes, sir.
Hello, Mr. Randall. Good afternoon, sir.
Good afternoon.
Seems like I just saw you.
Yo, you just seen me on the 18th, on the 19th.
Yes, sir. Okay, well, let's get these shows on the road so you can go on about your business,
Yes, sir.
do what you need to do. Okay. Let's see what I've got here. Got Leopard. All right, Mr. Randall, we have
I don't see where she at. Yes, sir.
two cases which have been filed against you, both by Officer Adam Carasalis, who
Yes, sir.
should be somewhere on the screen here in a second.
He's-
Okay.
I'm sorry.
Judge, he was in the room just a moment. Oh, there he comes.
There he is. I know he's just elusive. He's just elusive and is muted. Okay, Mr. Randall, we've got
I need you, man. I mean, cool. I was trying to get my witness to come. She's on her way.
okay. Well, okay, can you light somewhere? Can you settle in somewhere?
Yeah, I'm right here in the hallway because I'm at work.
Hey, well, you're making me dizzy.
Yeah, I'm at work.
I just need for you to kind of sit in one place so
Yeah, I was trying to come somewhere where it's quiet.
okay, that's good. Okay, Mr. Randall, you've got two cases, both of them alleged for the offense of having an open container in your vehicle, whether as a driver or a passenger. And both of those cases are charged by way of what's called a complaint. And the complaint is generated from the citation which you were issued, or the citations which you were issued by Officer Carasalis on, it looks like March the 5th of 2020, and then again on April the 20th of 2020. One allegation is alleged to have occurred. The March 5th allegation alleged to have occurred the 8100 block of Pat Booker. And the April 20th violation that's alleged is alleged to have occurred in the 12,400 block of Topperwine Road. Are you ready to proceed today, Mr. Randall?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Mr. Randall, in each case, you had the right to have the complaints, which are the charges filed in each case, read in open court, or if you understand the charges and wish to waive the reading of the complaints, you can do that. That's entirely up to you.
I understand the charges, sir.
Okay. And we're going to try these back to back because they're two separate incidences that are alleged to have occurred. Again, one on March the 5th of 2020 and the other one on April 20th of 2020. We'll take the one for March the 5th first, unless you have an objection, Mr. Randall.
Yes, sir.
Okay. The way this is going to work, Mr. Randall, is the prosecutor Ms. Trevino, who's down below you on the screen, will call her witness or witnesses. I believe they're going to both be Officer Carrizales, and elicit testimony from him. There may be another witness, I don't know. She will ask him questions regarding his observations and his observances on March the 5th of 2020. You will have the right to ask him questions regarding his testimony. Try not to testify at that time, Mr. Randall, because you have an absolute right to remain silent. You don't have to say anything. And the burden of proof is entirely on Ms. Trevino to prove the case against you if she's able to do so. These are separate cases, so one does not tie to the other. In other words, you may be found guilty of one and not guilty on the other. You may be found not guilty on both. I don't know. I don't know any of the facts. So,
Yes, sir.
so we need to be sure and keep the two sets of facts separate so that it doesn't confuse this old guy. All right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Do you have any questions so far?
No, sir.
Okay. Ms. Trevino, do you wish to make an opening statement or you just want to call your officer?
No, sir. We can proceed to calling the officer.
Okay. Officer Carrizales, raise your right hand, please. As long as you tell the truth, whole truth, and nothing but the truth self God.
I do.
And state your full name, please.
It is Adam Ezequiel Carrizales.
And you're employed by the City of Live Oak Police Department?
Yes, sir.
And how long have you been so employed?
A year and a half.
And this is related to the offense alleged to have occurred on March the 5th, 2020. I'll just make that statement for my purposes, just to make sure I don't get things mixed up. Okay, Mr. Trevino, you may proceed.
Officer Carrizales, were you on duty on the day of March 5th, 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what were your duties on that date?
Just normal patrol duties throughout the city. I answer calls, monitor traffic, and patrol, deter crime.
And on that date, did you encounter an individual by the name of Craig Randall?
Yes, ma'am.
And here in the virtual courtroom, can you identify him, please? Is he on the screen?
On my screen, he is the one above you with the black hat.
Gotcha.
Mine too.
And where did you encounter Mr. Randall at?
This would have been off of Topperwine Road is the address, I believe. There's multiple instances. I believe we're talking about the Topperwine one.
Okay, the March 5th incident is the Pat Booker Road.
Okay. Okay, so that's the 8,000 block, I believe, of Pat Booker.
Yes, sir. That is correct. And is the 8,000 block of Pat Booker Road within the city limits of the City of Live Oak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And was the defendant a passenger in a motor vehicle at the time that you encountered him?
Yes.
Okay. And what type of vehicle was this? Was this a passenger vehicle?
It is a two-door coupe. It is orange Hyundai Tiburon.
And that particular vehicle, was it a taxi cab or some other type of vehicle for hire? Or
No, ma'am.
okay. And so we've indicated that the defendant was a passenger in the vehicle. What led to the incident in question today?
So I believe in that 8,000 block of Pat Booker, I observed that vehicle to have a defective tail light. Once I observed that, I then initiated a traffic stop where I was unable to contact Mr. Craig Randall and another individual in that vehicle. During the course of that traffic investigation, I found that there was open alcoholic container in the vehicle, and once that was located, Mr. Randall was able to self-admit that it was his beverage.
All right. And so when you say self-admit, are you indicating that he voluntarily disclosed or took responsibility for possession of the open alcoholic beverage containers?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And how did you identify them as alcoholic beverage containers?
Through my experience as a Texas police officer, I've encountered many alcoholic beverages through the odor, and then as well as there was still content inside. And through interviewing Mr. Randall, he told me as well.
Okay. And so were these beer cans, bottles?
So I believe that one is a beer can.
All right. And so based on the statements made to you by the defendant, what action did you take?
After I was done with the investigation and my traffic stop, Mr. Randall was then issued a citation for the open alcoholic beverage, which he was given a copy and he signed the citation, and then he was released back to a responsible party.
Officer Carrizales, was video made of this stop?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And have you had the opportunities previously to view those videos?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And are they made with a device that is capable of making accurate video recordings?
Yes, ma'am. Audio and video.
And in the video, is that a true and correct copy of or recording of the actual incident?
Yes, ma'am.
Your Honor, the state does have video that it would like to introduce as State's Exhibit number 1.
Mr. Randall, do you have any objection to me seeing that video?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Let's get it published and
Yes,
so
sir.
everybody can see it.
I got 2 Texas IDs. Two 814-7525 2814 7525 Collins. Sometimes it feels like water's hitting me. It feels like water's hitting me, so like it feels like it's raining sometimes.
Alert.
42815386 42815386 Randall.
Alert. Wanted person. Alert. Wanted person.
Wanted. DVS. What'd you say, DVS? DVS 7243. We're going to get this put off the rate. Where'd you see the cans at? Behind her seat? Yeah. Okay. I don't get it. The fucking.
Alert, wanted person.
I can't see the alerts.
Alert, wanted person.
There we go.
Alert, wanted person.
Casey.
Alert, wanted person.
Leslie. Negative. Zeros, I said?
The guy in that chart?
Which one?
That was Cody Ring.
Which, that one just pressed Y? I don't know who that is. Who is that?
Huh?
Who is that?
It's the guy that I got that pound of meth off of.
He's already out?
Mhm.
Sounds about right. All right, I'm quick. Okay, Ms. Collins. So you got some open containers back here in the back? Do you have anything else you're supposed to have inside the vehicle?
No, all those are mine. I forgot to clean the car out. I was gonna do it tomorrow.
Okay.
'Cause I'm off.
Okay, Ms. Collins, is there anything else in here?
Yes.
No? You want to step it out for me real quick? Hang tight right there, Mr. Randall. Back here. Mr. Randall, he said that the beer cans are his. Is there anything else in that vehicle that's not supposed to be in there? Any drugs, weapons, narcotics, nothing?
No, sir.
Okay, because what's gonna happen is I'm gonna search the vehicle, so I'll give you the opportunity, if there is anything, come forward right now. If there's anything that's his,
It's just me and him in that car. It's just the open beer cans. That's it. Nothing else.
okay. All right, well, hang tight right there.
Yeah, smoking your reefer.
Okay. Is there any inside? Did you leave some shake and stuff like that inside?
It's like,
Little roach? Are you saying it's yours?
yeah, it's mine.
Okay, all right. Well, hang tight real quick, guys. 6:15, can you log this first?
Oh, yes. What's that got to do with this brown man? What's that?
Judge, the video is rather extensive, given the search of the vehicle, and while we wait, do you want to check with the defendant if he wants to have the entire thing published?
Mr. Randall, do you want to have the remainder of the video seen by me?
I mean, I don't have a problem with that, Your Honor.
You do or don't want to see it?
I don't want to see. I don't want to see no more.
Okay. And so,
Okay, and Officer Cadisalis, is there any other information that you believe that the judge needs to be made aware of regarding this incident?
Just so that I know, there was multiple beer cans that were observed, but there was one in particular that was still fresh, that still had a good amount inside, and it was still cold, and that's just gonna point that out.
Yes, indeed.
No additional questions at this time, Your Honor. The state does pass the witness.
Mr. Randall, do you have any questions you'd like to ask the officer?
Yes, sir. Officer Carson, later on in your statement, you said you pulled us over because of the brake light. When we asked you, why did you pull us over? You told us that it's because my license plate light was out. Right or wrong?
I don't remember exactly what the reason is. I told you, there's multiple instances I had with you. I don't remember.
But we're talking about this accident that happened on Pat Booker, sir.
Okay, if it was for a license plate, then I very well could have been mistaken.
You said that you pulled us over for a license plate because the light wasn't visible. You couldn't see our license plate. That was the first encounter we had. You said that the beer, they had a beer that was open and it was cold. There was no open beers in there. All them cans in the car that you counted was empty. If there was an open beer in the car, why didn't you take it out like you did last time and took pictures?
I did. I took photos and they were attached to my report.
You took photos of the accident on Top of Wine, sir, not on Pat Booker.
Is that a question, Mr. Randall?
That's what I'm asking. Was it Pat Booker or Top of Wine that you took the pictures?
Both.
Well, I haven't seen the pictures. Only pictures I've seen, sir, was the ones on Top of Wine.
Okay. If even still, I had my body cam on, so it's still attached to the report.
Okay, sir. No further questions, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Trevino, do you have anything further for?
Just a couple of quick questions, Your Honor.
Yes,
Officer Cadisalis, if it was a defective license plate light, would that be a state law violation?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And if it was a defective license plate light or any other type of light on the vehicle, would those be state law violations?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. How many encounters have you had with the defendant in and around this particular time period?
3 or 4.
Okay. No additional questions for the witness at this time, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Randall, do you have any other questions you'd like to ask the officer?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. And let's go to the second case. Are you prepared to go forward, Mr.
Yes,
Randall,
sir.
with the second case?
Yes, sir.
Ms. Trevino, are you prepared to go forward with the one alleged to have occurred on April the 20th?
Yes, sir. I just need one moment to change over video right quick.
She's gone in this door. My leg's starting to hurt. Take it off from the camera. Is a mask over there? It's my mask, man.
All righty, Judge. The video is taking just a moment to get loaded up here. It's making its way.
Hold on a second. I've got to stand up for a second.
Yes, sir.
So I'm going to stop my video just for 2 minutes. Stretch.
Yes, sir.
I will be back in just a couple of minutes.
Yes, sir.
Adrian might call for the move the cover, but I got it parked. Well, Adrian truck parked there. He might call you to come move it so he can get out. Hopefully I'll be finished with this by then. I need a cigarette. Hmm? Yeah, I'll give you 48 back.
No, every 50.
You forgot. It took out a 75 cents.
No,
Yeah.
I gave him 50.
Whatever. Might put my jacket on because it's cold in this mall. I don't know if David text me or not. Yeah, text me and let me know that they made it. Text me, let me know when y'all get there.
Okay, I'm back. Okay, moving on to the violation alleged to have occurred on April the 20th of 2020. I believe both parties said they were ready to proceed. Officer Carasalis, you're still under oath from the prior proceeding. So, Ms. Trevino, you may proceed to ask whatever questions you wish to direct to Officer Carasalis.
Yes, sir. Officer Carisalis, were you on duty the night of April 20th, 2020?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And please describe just real quick for the judge what your duties were on that night.
Normal patrol duties, deter crime, traffic, monitor traffic, answer calls.
Okay. And on this particular night, did you encounter the defendant?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And where did you encounter the defendant at?
This would have been I believe the 12500 block of Judson.
No, that's actually a different one.
Okay.
Your Honor, may I have a moment to refresh the witness's memory?
Sure.
All right. Officer Carisalis, we had the original stop in March. That one was on Pat Booker Road. We had a subsequent stop on Topperwine Road. And then the next stop.
Which is the one I just referred to? The third one?
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're on the second.
Yes, sir.
Okay. That is 12, I can't remember the block number of Topperwine.
You're correct, the 1200 block of Topperwine Road. And at that particular location, is that within the city limits of the city of Live Oak?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Was the defendant for this incident a passenger in a motor vehicle at the time you encountered him?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what type of vehicle was he in?
Oh, it's the same two-door orange Hyundai Tiburon.
Okay. And that vehicle, is it a taxi or a bus or some other vehicle for hire?
No, ma'am.
Okay. And in this particular instance, what was the reason for the type of reason for the stop?
This should have been for a defective tail light.
Okay. And in this particular instance, what did you observe in the vehicle?
I observed the same two individuals that we saw in the first video. Through the course of my investigation of the traffic stop, Mr. Randall, once again, I found open alcoholic beverage containers, which he voluntarily self-admitted that they were his.
All right. And with this particular instance, what actions did you take?
So this one is Mr. Randall was issued the same citation, and only this time we had to contact a different individual to release him to because of his behavior at the time of the incident.
All right. So you issued, to be clear, you issued a citation for open container.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. And for this particular instance, was a video made?
Yes.
Okay. And that video is made on Live Oak Police Department equipment that's capable of making true and correct copies?
Yes, ma'am.
Recordings?
Yes.
Okay. And in your opportunity to review this, does it accurately depict the incidents of this particular incident?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Your Honor, may we publish the video?
You have any objection, Mr. Randall?
No, sir.
And I guess for case number 2 for the April 20th, this will be State's Exhibit number 1. And I'm going to do the screen share.
It can be admitted.
Hello, Officer Carisalis, Level Police. The reason I stopped you is your brake light's not working.
It worked. It just, when we hit a bump, it blanks off and on. You
Okay.
gotta show that you.
Or regardless, if it's still defective, it's not properly working.
Yes, sir.
Do you got a driver's license?
Once I have my ID,
Yeah, ID. Do you got a driver's license,
my
sir?
license is at the house.
Can I see your ID? Where are folks coming from?
Right? It's just my phone.
Okay.
I live in
Where's work at?
Dairy Queen.
Okay. Can I get your ID? Okay, Ms. Collins, I remember you now. What happened? Still haven't got your driver's license yet?
The day I was about to go do it, that's when this stuff started happening.
Okay, sir, do you got an ID or a driver's license?
I got my ID, sir.
Okay. Where you guys headed to right now?
Home.
Home.
Yes, sir. You remember me too?
Yeah, I do. Do you got somebody at home that can come pick y'all up?
Yeah, her mom.
Your mom? She gonna be able to come pick you up with a driver's license?
Yeah.
Is that true, Ms. Collins? Yeah. Okay. Just want to make sure. All right, you got a phone on you? You can call her. See if she's gonna be able to come. 61511.
Either you or Gigi. If we're top of one at the hospital. This is the back or the front of the hospital?
This is the front.
We're at the front of the hospital.
Yeah.
We're at the main entrance of the hospital.
Mr. Randall.
Yeah.
Here in a second, I'm gonna have my supervisor pull you out. Okay, you don't got nothing on you, no weapons.
What?
Well, you got some beer cans in the back of the vehicle.
Man, them bill can't been in there for 3 days ago.
Well, you should clear them out then.
I don't have time. I've been working. I'm trying to make money so I can pay my bill.
Okay. Well, we'll talk about it here in a second. Why don't you go ahead and open your door?
Hey, talk to me. Hey. What? Yeah, you can have weapons on me.
You guys available? Just Collins, you wanna come on out? Are you guys available to come over here? You wanna come over here about my vehicle? What's she going? Hold on. So what's the deal, Ms. Collins? I mean, what's it gonna take for you to get your driver's license?
Money.
Okay.
My rent is $900, so that's what my money is going to. And then like the day I was gonna go get it done after I got whatever happened to me to get all that. That's when all this started happening. Coronavirus and all this stuff started going on.
Okay. All right. But this is the second time though I've stopped you and you still haven't got your driver's license. Have you gone to court for your other ticket?
How can I go?
Did y'all have court or no?
We couldn't go.
Why couldn't y'all go?
My court day was what? Around the time that they closed the court down?
So they didn't reschedule it or anything like that?
No, not yet.
Okay.
I'm still waiting on them to send me a letter and stuff like that.
Are they supposed to or?
Yeah, because I called my admin and they was like, well, we're gonna be sending out letters so we can reschedule it. So that's up to them when they send me those letters.
I just want to make sure that way. I don't know anything about the courts. I don't got nothing to do with that. But I do. The only information I'll get is if you got a warrant if you didn't show up. So that's why I'm asking.
No, I don't have a warrant. So they're supposed to reschedule it. They the ones supposed to put it on the website. If you have court on this day through this day, we're gonna postpone it.
Is that are you boyfriend girl? That's your husband? Okay. Last time too, y'all had a whole bunch of beer cans in there. Y'all didn't clean those out either?
Yeah, we cleaned them out.
Okay, so well, obviously these are new then, right?
Yeah, like he said, like 3-4 days ago.
Okay. Well, regardless, that's still enough for me to search the vehicle. Okay. Is there anything in there that's you're not supposed to have anything illegal? No drugs? Other than those cans, there's no more open containers or anything like that? Because I'm asking you because you're the one driving the vehicle, so you're ultimately responsible. Last time he was nice enough to take the fault for it, but at this time, if he doesn't, that's why I'm.
He's still gonna take the fault for it because that's his stuff. That's not me. I don't drink.
Well, I can't make him take the fault. That's why I'm asking you. Is there anything else in there that I need to be worried about? No guns? I gotta ask. Never know.
Yeah, I got a whole 45.
Well, let's not start all that up now.
No, I'm just kidding.
So,
I don't have anything.
okay. Well, hang time. I have a female come over here in a little bit just to make sure you don't.
I do got
Okay. Buddies. First one is 28147525 28147525 Collins.
Can I give you a box of white gloves? I don't need them.
28153 64281 5386.
I'm gonna do trash you. The tips will come out like the white ones. Because when the white ones, I can't tie a knot with the tips hanging.
Okay.
Will make it easier if you sit down?
No, because it's gonna come.
Okay. Well, we're gonna be here for a moment, so you're gonna have to do your best to hang tight, all right? Just wait right there.
Thank you.
Okay, Mr. Randall. So last time I stopped y'all, it was the same thing.
But you never told me nothing about it.
I told you about those beer cans. There was a lot more in there last time.
Live oak there too.
So that's who I am.
I told you is.
Yeah.
And I just now, all right. Now since you right here, wasn't I being straight truthful with y'all?
Yeah, last time you were.
And I'm being truthful with y'all.
Okay. So you know there's new beer cans in there then, right?
I don't have nothing illegal.
Okay. All right.
Nothing illegal.
Okay, so I'm not gonna find no half drink.
You ain't gonna find no
beer cans or anything like that. No weed. Last time there was weed in the vehicle. Last time you had it.
I told you.
So there's no more of that in there?
Exactly where it was that and everything. Ain't no weed in there. They probably got a beer can on the back seat, on the floor.
Okay.
Probably be a beer can that I missed. But I cleaned it out from the last time.
Nothing else. No drugs, guns. Okay.
Oh.
Never know, man. I gotta ask.
Hold it.
I gotta ask.
Honest with you again. I am a convicted felon.
Mhm.
I did 2 years out here in Texas prison for a gun.
Okay.
When they let me out, they told me if I get caught with a gun or either bullets in my pockets,
Okay.
it's gonna go fast, and that's 5 years for a bullet. I'll toy around with y'all before I fuck with the feds.
Okay. All right. Well, come right here. You want to put your hands right here just so I can make sure you don't got no guns?
The sergeant already searched.
Oh, he did? Okay. Sorry. All right. You're good, sir. You want to come back here with your wife?
Can I get that phone? Because that's her mom.
We'll get it right here in a second, okay? Just hang tight right there. 615 like PC search. Oh, this is all new stuff. So the last time there was a lot more, like this whole back area was just covered with beer cans. Like no one could sit back there because it was just beer cans. Is it this one? This is your phone?
Yeah. I need the whole deal.
Well, last time I did find some weed in here.
Right there, you got it, Craig. All right.
There we go.
Oh,
Right here.
ready. Okay, that's nice and quiet.
I'm gonna talk to you in a minute. I'm in court right now.
That's T.
Never been open.
She drove when she drove.
She was. These are closed though.
Yeah.
But well, these were on the passenger side, so she don't smell like it, but he does. So
I'm out for recorder just for training purposes.
you can have a what?
I'm out for just training for training purposes.
Okay.
There is extensive video as the officers process and wait for.
Hey, Mr. Randall, do you want to say anything further?
No, sir.
Sorry, I had to stand up again. Okay, Mr. Trevino, you want to
Yes,
proceed?
sir. Yes, sir. So Officer Carrizales, we have the open container of beer that you find in the back seat. We've got the thermos that you identified on video as being alcohol. Now, absent the actual opened can of beer, if that alcohol was in that thermos, would that be a different charge or no charge?
If the alcohol was in the thermos, I'm sorry.
Right, without the actual open can of beer, would the defendant have been cited?
No, ma'am, not without that. There was, the beverage was inside the thermos. I don't know if you could tell, but I was able to not only see it, but smell it and verify that it was the same beverage.
Okay.
And it's
And
kind of
when you
hard
say
from that angle.
The same beverage, because it's a Busch beer can.
Yes,
All right. No additional questions, Your Honor. The state does pass the witness.
Hey, Mr. Randall, do you have any questions you'd like to ask the officer?
Yes, sir. Officer Carson, at the time of the stop, why did you not do the same thing with the first stop that you did? When you said that I supposed to had that one of the cans was open with beer still in it because it was still cold, why didn't you put it on top of the car like you just did in that video?
I'm sorry. Why didn't I? Are you referring back to the last?
From the last accident on Pat Booker, you said that they still had a can of beer that was still cold with beer in it. Why didn't you take it out the car and put it on top of the car like you just did in that video?
Objection, relevance, Your Honor.
No, I think it's relevant. Go ahead and answer the question, officer.
Oh, I just didn't want to.
No further question, Your Honor.
Any other questions, Ms. Trevino?
One rebuttal question. Officer Carrizales, in the previous video, we did not, at the defendant's instruction, we did not publish the rest of the video. Is there any other information on the video that you think would be helpful to the court, or you feel that we have provided sufficient evidence at this time?
In this recent one?
The first one.
No, ma'am.
No additional questions, Your Honor.
You have anything further, Mr. Randall?
No, sir.
Okay. Let me check my oxygen level here real quick. Which is good. 98. Okay. Well, I've got a split decision on this one. Mr. Randall, I'm going to find you not guilty on the one from March 5th. I find you guilty on the one from April 20th. So that's a $200 fine and court cost. You have the right to appeal the decision if you wish to do so. If you do elect to appeal, Mr. Randall, you've got some procedural hurdles that you have to jump over and jump through. So you might want to talk to a lawyer. But the case originating on March 5th, I am going to find you not guilty on that case. And on the second case with the thermos and the unopened Bush beer can, find you guilty on that. So it's $200 fine plus court cost. And you'll have an opportunity to make some payments on that, Mr. Randall. Give you 30 days if you can't pay it immediately.
Sir.
All right. Do you have any questions, sir?
No, sir, I don't.
Okay. Okay. Well, you can, Vicky, do you want to put Mr. Randall in a room with either Z or Nancy so he can let them know what he wants to do?
Let me get Vicky back in here, Judge. She stepped out for just a moment so she can move Mr. Randall to a breakout room. Hold on. Mr. Randall, if you'll hold on just a moment, we'll get you moved over.
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Randall, I can't really give you advice, but I'm going to give you a little bit. Get rid of all those beer cans, man. I mean, I
did, sir.
Get rid of them. If you have to do it every night, get rid of them.
Yes, sir.
I mean, you're just inviting a problem.
Yes, sir.
And have your wife get a driver's license, or you get a driver's license.
Well, we've been trying. They got us on like I think she go next month, and I go the month after.
Okay. Well, good luck to you on that. Hey, you can go in and talk to either Nancy or Z, and they'll get you set up on so you can make your payments and get this taken care of for you.
Yes, sir.
All right.
Yes, sir.
You're going to see a sign that says join a breakout room. So you need to hit that button, please. And then let's go off recording.
Judge, am I dismissed?
No, hold on. I want to talk to you a second,
Okay.
please. Vicky, can we stop recording?
Yes, sir.